Hello everyone, welcome to our first episode of the ELF podcast, and I'll be your host, Master Yeleyo Albertini, a senior student in environmental science. On today's episode, we'll be talking more about the Environmental Leadership Forum, and we have in our midst a prominent member. He's also our executive producer for this particular podcast, and he's the CEO of Reality Apparel in the person of Edwin Koba Bamfo. He's an environmental sustainability professional with an environmental science degree in one of the best universities you can find yourself in Ghana. That's the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. He's an MPhil student in environmental resource management at KNUST, and he is the CEO of Reality Apparel and designer at the Reality Consult. Edwin, welcome to the show.
Albertini, great to be here. Thank you for the wonderful introduction. I realize that you made a very big mistake.
What?
I'm not sure the Vice Chancellor will be happy with you if she gets to know this. You are referring to KNUST as one of the best.
Oh yeah, it is.
We need to expel you from the school. KNUST is the best university in the country, and you know it.
Yeah.
So I'll give you the chance to say it again.
KNUST is the best university in Ghana.
Well, very well.
West Africa, I think we are.
We are 12 in Africa.
12. Wow.
That's not bad, though.
That's not bad.
It's not bad at all.
That's not bad.
We passed
And
on
where is
Egyptian universities.
Leg is like 29.
29.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's good to be here.
Yeah. So on today's episode, as you heard, we are going to talk more about the Environmental Leadership Forum. Most people have heard about it, but they don't really know much about it. So can you tell us what the Environmental Leadership Forum is?
Right. Environmental Leadership Forum, popularly known as ELF, is an organization that is focused on equipping people with the skills, the knowledge, and the principles to protect the environment, basically. That is what ELF is about.
Oh, that's nice. So is it a registered organization?
Yes, ELF is registered as a non-governmental organization with a Registrar General's Department.
Interesting. Okay, so why Environmental Leadership Forum and not any other name? Because there are a lot of probably Save Ghana, Save the Environment in Ghana, something of that sort.
Okay, the name actually is influenced by our purpose and why we exist. Okay, ELF exists to, as I said, equip people who take responsibility for the environment. And I like to call these people environmental leaders. So then I thought, environmental leaders, people who are responsible for the environment. Let's create a platform that will host these people and help them to develop skills and some knowledge to help what they are doing. So it's just a forum to host environmental leaders. That's why the name is Environmental Leadership Forum.
Wow. So how did it come about? Probably.
You mean how did ELF come about?
Yeah, ELF come about.
ELF wasn't something that was really planned.
No.
Yeah. I think it's just a build-up of passion for the environment and environmental advocacy. Yeah, I remember my passion for the environment started in 2015. After I read the MDGs. My dad just got home one day and said, read on the MDGs. So after reading MDGs, I applied to environmental science in KNUST.
Some of my listeners, they don't know what MDGs is.
You're right. The MDGs are the Millennium Development Goals. Okay, those were first set out by the UN, I think from 2000 to 2015. And then afterwards, the SDGs were rolled in. The Sustainable Development Goals replaced the MDGs. We can provide some links to the MDGs in the podcast description, so you can read more on MDGs there. Yes, and after that, so in 2018 was when I had my first environmental advocacy initiative, visiting a primary school in Kaswa. Yes, and then in 2020, I hosted 3 of my friends, Gideon, Brian, and Belinda, in a virtual event. So after that, I decided, oh, we can build an organization that can champion environmental action instead of just coming out on every World Environment Day to do something.
Yeah.
So that's how ELF came about. So it wasn't something that was actually planned like we have planned this podcast. Not at all. Yes.
Well, that's nice. So, like, when you started, let me say from 2017 to now, were there any challenges when you started? Did you ever feel to maybe probably you weren't meeting your standard?
Standard. I didn't have any standards.
You didn't have standard.
No, I didn't have any standards. I didn't have it in mind to do something to meet somebody's standard or to please. I was just doing stuff. So I'll be there, I'll get an idea that I can do this, then I just implement it. Okay, I started writing blog posts on environmental action. So whatever I knew how to do, I was just doing. And then that has culminated in this. Yes.
Okay. So, what are some of the goals and objectives of ELF?
Goals. Okay. The biggest goal for us now is to raise a generation of environmentally responsible humans. Okay. Yes, to raise an environmentally responsible generation. And I may be going ahead of myself, but I'm sure very soon people will get to hear about our next project. Okay. And then this will make more sense. I feel that the youth across the world hold the power to push the sustainability agenda. Okay. Because the largest part of the population in this country especially is made up of the youth. And very soon, I think you are going to be Minister of Environment. And, yes. Once we get to pay attention to our generation and get to impart these principles, okay, then we can be hopeful that in the very near future, we can make some positive strides towards sustainability. So that's one of our biggest goals, to equip people with the skills and the knowledge they need to protect the environment.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, talking of projects, I remember last year you guys did a project because that was what attracted me to ELF in particular.
So now you're part of us, so don't
yes.
say you guys.
Yes. Last year we did a project.
Yes.
Yeah. So can you tell us more about the project last year you guys did?
Okay, yes, of course. It's something I get excited about every time. Last year, 2021, we had World Environment Day observed on KNUST campus for the very first time. Yes, ELF collaborated with Environmental Science Student Association. Yes, I had multiple meetings with Edwin Asante, who was the president then. I hear say now he chops on plenty money.
Yeah.
Yes, so we collaborated and then we put up a 3-day event in honor of World Environment Day. So we had a seminar, we invited some wonderful personalities, Dr. Chum, I mention his name everywhere. Yes. He's a chartered environmentalist. And yes, so it was wonderful. We did some campus crusade on environmental action, just alerting people that they need to take action on the environment. And then we had a seminar, and then we had a cleanup at Ayediase. So that was the first project we had last year. And then afterwards, we joined the Green Ghana campaign, initiated by the president. Yes, that was a very exciting day for me. Yes, not because I got to plant trees alone, but also because I got to meet people who were also of like passion. It's been fun all this while.
Okay, that was it for last year's project. How about this year? Do you have any project in mind? Aside World Environment Day, which is 5th June.
Yes. This year, ELF is going to host some of the accomplished environmental leaders across the country, okay, in a summit that will be held on KNUST campus. So more details on that will be provided on our social media pages, and I'm sure we'll get to speak directly to it in a later episode. Yes, another project we'll be looking at is the Sustainable Futures Project. Yes, the Sustainable Futures Project actually profiles a community service initiative to raise a generation of environmentally responsible people, as I said earlier. So also about that we're going to have to dedicate a whole episode to that. Because I'm not sure I can talk about that here now. So, of course, we're going to need volunteers and sponsors to make all of our projects successful. And in the next few days, I'm sure the design team will release the details on how to volunteer with ELF for the upcoming projects. So, guys, watch out and volunteer with ELF. Yes.
I'm hosting Edwin K. Banfo. He is the president of ELF, and he's also the CEO for Reality Apparel. We will take a short break, after which we will ask a few more questions. We'll be right back.
This episode is sponsored by Reality Apparel. Reality Apparel is a motivational clothing brand and t-shirts printing store. Get up to 20% off when you use discount code ELF Podcast on their website www.realityapparel.store.
Okay, so everyone, we are back again with the flow, with the mic. Okay, Edwin, so let's talk about volunteering at ELF. How can one become a volunteer?
Yes, so to join ELF, you just have to sign up via Google form, and our lead volunteer will contact you with subsequent details. Okay, so the link is bit.ly/ELFKNUST. You can check the description for the link. So you sign up with your name and your details, and we'll reach out to you. Now, there are a few things I'd like to point out to all prospective volunteers. If you want to volunteer at ELF, you're not signing up to a group that you will just join officially, like you are just part of us on paper. No, we need people who are available, okay, people who respond to our calls and all. And it is noteworthy that all volunteers at ELF are entitled to organizational support, any form of support that ELF can offer. Also, we offer professional training from students and professionals alike with respect to the environment and environmental protection. And you get to have first-hand access to some of the environmental events around, sometimes leadership conferences. And of course, as a volunteer, entitled to certificates. Yes, so that's what there is for volunteers.
Yeah. And also, he forgot about one thing, souvenirs as well too. Because last year, I had a t-shirt from ELF on World Environment Day. And also during the cleanup exercise, they gave us food as well too. You know, you really enjoy it.
Yes, you're right.
Edwin, I'll be asking you a set of questions for 30 seconds. Fiction or non-fiction?
Non-fiction.
Phone call or text?
Phone call.
Fufu or banku?
Banku any day.
Quantity or quality?
Quality.
Early bird or night owl?
Early bird.
Tea or coffee?
Coffee.
Paper bag or poly bag?
Paper bag.
Paper bag. Hiking or bird watching?
I'd rather watch a movie.
Thank you guys for listening to our first segment. For more updates, follow our Twitter page at podcast_ELF and subscribe to this podcast and recommend it to your friends and lovely ones. Bye.
Bye.